All right. Well, welcome to class, guys. We're going to be discussing today how to set up TradingView. As I mentioned to those who were here earlier, if you already know this information, don't feel the need to hang around and stay. If you already know this. Also, I just muted everybody. Please keep your mic muted unless you're speaking. And that way your noise in the background won't distract the classmates, all right? I'm showing you, this is the final product. Can you guys hear me? And now somebody can unmute and say hello or let me know that you guys can hear me. Perfect, okay. Perfect.
Hi, we can hear you.
Thank you, Star. This is the final product as far as, oh, wait a minute, what happened to my oh, bummer. Looks like I lost my Martin Stochastic. I'm gonna have to get back to that. See if I can get it later. I'm gonna have removed that from there for now. So this is what it looks like, the final product. I have over here on the left my Bollinger Bands. I have the pivots I can open at any given time. The moving averages are here also. And again, this is the final product, but I'm gonna walk you all through the very start of what it looks like when you start, okay? When you open an account with, and by the way, this is called how to set up TradingView, for those of you who don't know. When you first sign up with TradingView, this is what you're going to see. This is how it's going to appear. Okay, in order to set up your chart the way that we use it, in order to have the conveniences of the tools that we use, that's what I'm going to walk you through today, all right? And as I mentioned earlier, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. You're not going to distract me, and if by asking a question, if I can't answer at that time because of the flow, I'll put it on hold and then I'll get back to you. But if you have a question, don't write it in the chat. I'm not going to be able to see it, okay? And of course, like I mentioned, please keep your mics muted unless you're going to speak. And if you're going to speak, then obviously go ahead and unmute yourself. You guys can see my screen, correct? The blank trading view. You guys can see that? I'm going to start with the background. Okay, this is how you change the background in trading view. You simply right click on the body of the chart. Okay, it gives you the settings all the way at the bottom. And here you can start making it whichever way you want it. I like mine dark, so put it black. Okay. Then the vertical lines, I don't want to see these lines, so I make them also black, and that way they disappear. The opacity has to be at 100, otherwise they will kind of faintly see them in the background. All right. Horizontal lines, I also don't want to see them, so I make them black, and now they're gone. If you want to see the session breaks are the days. It kind of helps when you're doing back testing and studying to know when the day ended. So you click here. Oh, what happened? Oh, you know what? All the features may not be available. I'm just not realizing. All the features may not be available in the one that we don't pay for it. So I'm going to try to keep going. If I run into a problem where I know it's going to be an issue for the class, then I'll change it. But session breaks looks like this. These lines right here. Okay. This line tells me that another day has passed. So on the 1 hour chart, there should be 24 candles between the lines. Okay. Because each one of these represents an hour. So that's what it looks like when you have the session breaks. Okay. And this is where you would do it. Right here in appearance, you click it here. Right? That's pretty much all that you do in that section. Unless you're trading with, muting everybody again. Unless you're trading with TradingView, which I doubt, you're not going to want this thing hanging out over here. It's a pain. So just right click it, hide it, gone. Okay. Let me see if this is going to allow me to do it. Okay, now we have, let's go find our moving averages. Is that what we need to do? Let's start with our MACD. I have a list here, so let's just go, let's find our MACD. MACD, you click on indicators, and you can only use 3, by the way. I think you can only use 3, or is it 2? Unless you pay a subscription. We're gonna find out here in a minute. You put MACD, you took the very first one, and by the way, if you star it, it'll keep it in your favorites. That way you don't have to keep looking for them every time. If your charts get messed up, you can just go straight over here and you can find it. You click on it, and there's your MACD, okay? MACD is an indicator used for momentum, also for volume. The blue light is the MACD. The orange one, line, the orange line is the signal. When the blue line crosses the red, momentum is shifting, although it could be above and below it. Like, for example, if these lines are above the histogram, this is called the histogram. These are bars of volume, okay? If it's above the histogram, you are in a buy trend, which is what you can see here. It's in a buy trend. When it crosses below, all right, you can see it's going down. Now you're in a downtrend, all right? So this can help you enter trades. As you're observing, for example, if you were looking here, it came down, came down, came down, came down, came down. Once it got to this point, it started weakening, and you can see it by the bars were red, deep red, and now they're light red. They were deep red because it was a strong downtrend, and now it's not as strong, so it's getting lighter and lighter. You can see how these bars are getting closer and closer to the center until it becomes green again, and it coincides with the up movement, as you can tell. But the
Hey, Robert.
Yes, sir.
What was the orange line called again?
The signal.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. And again, the way this is used is when you see the MACD line crossing the histogram, you know that the trend has changed. So here it had gone down, okay, it was below it, and now it's coming above it, and there it goes. When you add that to your moving averages and other things that help you as indicators, you can confidently take a trade. This is just to help you. The primary thing that you always look at is price action, obviously. Price action and market structure. And what do we mean by market structure, by the way? Because I know, again, we got new people. So market structure is the structure that is created by the price action. So, for example, I'm going to use this here just to show you. This line. Okay, I get that one. Let me just box. Let me see if I can do this. Can I do this? Can I do this? Where's my rectangle? Rectangle. See here too? Nope. Where's my rectangle? I don't see it. No, I don't see it. But this action right here that I just boxed in, this is called structure. That means that the price is trapped between these two lines. Keeps going up and down, up and down, up and down, okay? When it breaks structure, this is the breakout that we're talking about. And in this case, we have a beautiful retest right here. It broke, retested, and then boom, it dropped down, okay? This one broke over above it, came below it. So bottom line is the structure, market structure, and price action, the price of the candles is what we mostly follow. But these down here, these indicators can help us, okay, know when to enter a trade. So this is how you set up the MACD. Let me start marking these off so that I know that I've already done them and move on. Okay, the next one on the list that I have is moving averages. This is how you find the moving averages. You click on indicators. And I'm probably gonna have to remove some indicators to add others because it only allows me to use so many. So let's see, this is the moving average exponential. You write down moving average exponential, okay? Go ahead and put a star on it. That way you don't have to keep finding it. It's the very first one. And we use the 8, Okay, this one by default is 9. So you go right here in the settings, click on it, and change it to 8. Here you can also change the color. I like my 8 to be a teal. Let's just use this one. And you can change how thick the line is. Make it easier for you to see. See how it changes? Okay, you can change it there. And click OK, and there is your moving average, okay? The moving average, the 8 exponential moving average, is a dynamic indicator or dynamic support and resistance that follows the action. When the action is above it, you're in an uptrend. When the action is below it, you're down. Up, down, up, down. But these moving averages don't work very well by themselves. You have to have, if you have 2 lines, then you can tell with confidence how the market is moving. So that's why we add the others. So that was the exponential one, moving average exponential. The next one is simple moving averages. Okay, click on indicators again. Simple moving averages. And you look for my friend stocks inbox right here. Stocks inbox, put a little star by it, and click it. Okay, it's gonna give you a whole bunch of them. And this is good because, again, you can only use so many indicators in a trial or in the free trading view. So if you don't have the money to pay the paid subscription, this saves you because these are all here together, but you don't want them all. So again, you click on the little setting button right here, click on it. The input tells you which one they are. This is the 20 and the 50. We're gonna keep the 20 and the 50. We're gonna get rid of all the other ones, okay? Go back to style and just basically unclick these and you can see how they start disappearing. Okay, I'm gonna mute everybody again. Please keep yourself muted. Let's see. All right. Okay, now we have the 20 and the 50. The 20, I like to keep it all the same color. So I make them both the same color. In this case, I'm gonna make it yellow. Yellow, opacity all the way up. Gonna make the line a little thicker. All right, and now you have the yellow is my 20 moving average. And then this one, the 50, I'm gonna keep it in the 2-tone colors because I just like it. When the action is above the line is one color, when it's below the line is a different color. I'm going to make mine green and yellow. Green for when the action is above. I mean green and red when it's below. All right. Now when the price is below it, it's going to be red. When the price is above it, it's going to be green. All right. And the power of these moving averages, as you'll find in other videos that we have talked about, is that when the 8 moving average, the exponential, the one that moves faster because there's only 8 candles, when it crosses either the 20 or the 50, you have momentum in the direction that it crosses. So in this case, the 8 crossed the 20, and you can see the momentum up. It crossed the 50, and see the momentum up. And as it comes down, let me see one that's real clear. Here's one that's real clear over here. As it crosses down below it, you can see how the action is coming down. And I like to point these out just because there's a good training opportunity, but here's a rejection candle. Here's another rejection candle. That's what they look like. I'm just taking advantage of the opportunity to show you those things. You can learn about candlesticks patterns in the other videos. But again, this is how you set up the moving averages. So now you saw how you set up the moving averages. Let's get that out. Now, there are several tools that we use consistently. Oh, and by the way, the way you can make all this disappear so that your chart is clean at the beginning is simply this eye right here. Click it and it will hide it. Unclick it and it'll show it. Okay? Click it, hides it, unclick it, shows it. All right? Let's keep it off to make it clean for now, okay? Let me remove these lines. I'll keep those lines there now, actually. Whenever you want to set up, as you see Jay and I set up our charts, you see these lines, these vertical lines that we put across. You can change the color and the settings on this by simply clicking. This is a vertical line, right-clicking on it and click on the settings. You can change the color. You can change the numbers, the coordinates where it is. And you can also, by right-clicking on it, you can set an alert. This is how we set our alerts. Click on it, once per bar, once per minute, however you like it. Jay likes to do once per minute. I like to do mine once per bar because I'm usually, if I'm not up, I'm not trading. So once per bar, click, create. And now, anytime that the price crosses or touches that line or approaches it close enough, it's gonna give me an alert. It's gonna tell me, hey, price is about to break through your zone. You wanna wake up now, pay attention. So that's what that does, okay? If you wanna remove it, just simply right-click on it and remove it, and it's gone, okay? I remove this one too, because I don't know how many I can have. Like I said, with, I don't remember. All right, so now, to add your most common tools that you use, you go on the left over here. This toolbar is packed with things that we use, okay? So let's say I use a trend line quite a bit, so I'm gonna put a little star by it. The horizontal line I use, gonna put a line by it. I use the horizontal ray also, I think so, let me see. The ray, the arrow. These are some of the ones I use, and I think that covers those. Let me check those off. Just make sure I get them all, okay? And what this is going to do is gonna create a favorites list. So now, anytime you need one of these, or if you wanna use these toolbars without having to go find them, you simply click on this little star down here. Okay, you click on the star, and there they are. The ones that I've added so far. I'm gonna keep adding more to it. Okay, those are the ones I've added so far. Okay, the next one is our Fibonacci. Here's where we use our, this is what we use on this one is the Fibonacci retracement and the trend-based fib extension, okay? As you can tell, every time that I click over here, it adds to the toolbar, to my favorites toolbar, all right? It makes it faster for me to find them, all right? Next, let's see, I use a rectangle. Oops, get rid of that. How do I get rid of that now? How do I close it? I was gonna do one. There you go. Okay, let's start by the rectangle. We use the rectangle, we use the ellipse. I like the ellipse because it helps me point out these little things over here, like click on it, open it here, click once, click twice, and open it. And I can show you what's going on, specific places. As you're studying your charts, you want to be able to use these. That's why we're adding these to the toolbar, okay? If you want to close them, just simply on one of these circles, just right click and remove, all right? Okay, text, I use the text. I use the call out. This is what I use when I'm setting up the setups that I send out. All right, we go to this patterns. We use here the Elliott wave. You're gonna see that in class. Head and shoulders, Elliott wave. I think that's it, or Elliott wave correction. Let me see, where is it? Yeah, Elliott wave impulse and Elliott wave correction. Those are the ones that we use, okay? Let's see over here. Also, this is a nice little tool, the long and short position. If you're trying to determine, let me move this bar over here. If you're trying to determine how many pips and what is your risk to reward, that's what you would use. This right here, which is now over here. This is your long position, your short position. This is, if you hold it, after you see, you can see what it tells you, short position. So let's say I'm looking for this move right here that is retracing now. I'm anticipating that is going to hit structure somewhere around here. Let's say, I mean, it's probably not accurate. Let me move it over here. Let me move it here. It's gonna, I'm anticipating that it's gonna hit this line and it's gonna drop. If I was to do that, how can I determine what my risk reward is to put a trade? You could click on that, click on the short position, click, once you have it, the pointer there, you click on it, and it automatically does it for you, okay? This is a 1-to-1 ratio. So this is your profit going down, this is your loss going up, or your drawdown, okay? If you want to have a better, a 2-to-1 ratio, you know, better than the 1-to-1, you simply grab this right here and pull it down, and you can see the middle number changing. When it hits 2, you have a 2-to-1. All right? I'm gonna right click and remove it. Let's say I'm anticipating instead that it's gonna break through and go to the upside. I'll take a long position tool right here, put it on the same line, boom, and now the green is on top, the red's on the bottom. And if I want, expecting this to do a 2-to-1, hold on. I'll just simply grab it, move it up, and that's about a safe trade right there. Since the top is over here, it's below it. This is a 2-to-1, all right? That's how you use that tool, okay? You right click to remove it, and it's gone. I think that's all the tools that I have from the retracement, the extension, the rectangle, the ellipse. I can't believe my Martin trend is not there. Gonna have to check on that. Oh, the Fibonacci settings. Let's go through the Fibonacci settings. Gonna have to go to my, any questions related to that so far? I mean, that's pretty simple. Again, if you didn't catch something, you can just watch the video again. And if you want clarification on something right now, feel free to ask, it's okay. But let me go to my chart. Here's my chart. Let's say I want to, I want to check the fib out. What is this? Is this my chart? That's why this is not working, I think, because this is not my regular trading chart, but because that wouldn't be there if it was my regular trading chart. So I'm gonna have to go back to that. Okay, let's see. Let's pull up. Yeah, it doesn't even have my favorite. So this is definitely not my chart. I'm signed out of my chart right now. Okay, let's see. Let's see, can I do that from here? Sign out. Sign out. Okay. Let me see if I can sign in. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Where's my Martin? Let me see, do I have my Martins now? I do have my Martins, yay. Okay, and I don't have, here's the MACD. We don't have the stochastic, do we? Martin stochastic, where's my Martin stochastic? Go to indicators, invite script only, Martin stochastic trend. These are my favorites over here already. Click on it, and there's my Martin, yay. I was scared there for a minute. This is a paid subscription. The Martin stochastic, Jay uses it quite a bit. I use it for confirmation. He has a whole bunch of indicators. Jay has a list of the ones that he uses most frequently. They are not cheap, but you can get a package, and Jay's code will save you, I think, up to 40%. If you just want to test them and try them, I believe it's $20 for 11 days. You can try them for 11 days and test them and use it and see which one you like the best, okay? But we use them, okay? And this is just simply another way of determining the momentum of the market. In this case, you can tell here how the market at the top is considered to be overbought. The bottom is considered to be oversold. So if it's overbought, it means it's going to come down at some point, and when the green crosses the red, it starts coming down, okay? These don't always coincide. You don't have to have all your indicators coincide. They rarely ever will coincide all of the time. If you cannot afford to get the Martin stochastic, you can just simply put a regular stochastic with the settings 14, 3, and 3. Okay, you can just simply get the regular stochastic and use it with settings 14, 3, and 3, which you can also find here. Indicators. That's the one I didn't look for. Stochastic, click on it. I got too many. Okay, let me remove one for now. Let me remove the MACD. Okay, indicator. Click on it, and there it is. And it comes already with 14, 3, and 3. I don't think that the MetaTrader comes automatically with 14, 3, and 3. And that's the only indicator that I have on my MT4, because I don't usually, again, we usually use our setups from TradingView and then just simply enter the trade in MT4, okay? And you can tell these are quite a little similar. They're not exact, but they're similar. You see how they moved almost exactly the same? So if you use those settings 14, 3, and 3, it will act close to the Martin stochastic. All right, let me move that out of the way. Let me add my MACD back, and we're in business. Okay, so now why was it that I came over here? There was something that I needed to do. There was something, the settings, the Fibonacci settings. So we have this up move from here to here, and we want to have an idea. Let me remove these lines. Remove all drawing tools. Remove all drawing tools. Okay, and we want to have an idea how far this may retrace. So we click on the fib retracement. This is swing low to swing high. I'm gonna give you these coordinates here in a minute, all right? The way that you can make these colors and make it the right numbers that we often use is simply right click on the circle, settings, and these are the settings that you wanna set up. I'm gonna leave that here for a minute so you can take a picture of it, screenshot it, whatever you need to do, get an idea. Any questions? Sorry, there it is. And the colors on it are very specific. They're there for a reason. Let me go ahead and click OK here. The golden zone is kind of gold, 5, 50, and 61%. This is the golden zone right here. The red is there because it's the last line of resistance. If you are, for example, if you were expecting this to bounce from the 50, right? Again, you pull the Fibonacci and you're watching it. You're watching it. You're watching it. You're watching it. It is at the 50 and it's found support at the 50. Look at it. It bounced here, came down, but went back up. Went down, came back up. Went down, went back up. It has found support at the 50%. So let's say I'm anticipating that it's going to stick from there and go up like it often does. Well, the action is right now, in fact, on the 50. So let me enter a buy. Boom. I go in for a buy. But it starts going against me. It starts going back, going down, going down, going down. If it crosses the 78.6, that's my out. That's why this is a 78. That's why it's red. Okay? It's red to let me know we're done. Okay? If instead you happen to pull the Fibonacci and the price has come all the way down past 50, past 61.8, all the way down to the 78.6, that is the best profit ratio entry that you can get for a buy. Why is that? Because from here, all of this way up, you have for a profit, and your out is simply right down here, okay? So your exit, if you're wrong, if your entry is wrong, in other words, it's gonna keep going down instead of going back up, then you can just exit when it breaks the bottom here versus you have all the way up. So those are the numbers for the Fibonacci retracement. Let me give you the numbers for the extension, okay?
Hey, Robert, I know that I could probably go back to the Fibonacci video, but where are we supposed to properly place the Fibonacci tool?
Yes,
Because I'm looking like it looks as though you did it next to the biggest wick and then took it on up to the highest wick.
it's wick to wick, and
Right.
I did it here specifically because from here is when it broke out.
Gotcha.
That's why I put it there, because it broke out from there. If I was, and I'm in this day, if I had been in this day or between these 2 days, I would have put it down here.
Gotcha.
I would have started here and moved it all the way up to here.
Okay, so just put it where the breakout is. Gotcha.
Correct. Where the breakout begins, exactly. And from wick to wick. Unless the wick is ridiculously long, which then indicates it's a fake out. Then you would put it somewhere like, for example, and let me give the coordinates for this, and then we'll go from here. Right click, settings. These are the coordinates for, or the style and numbers for the fib extension. You screenshot it, take a picture of it, probably the best thing to do. And of course, you'll also see it in the video when you watch the video again, if you have to. Okay, but is that good enough? Can I go ahead and keep going? Are we good? All right, moving on. For example, let me close this out. This right here, all right? This is quite a wick going up. Would I start my fib from there? Well, does it make sense to do so? I think the candle right next to it kind of gives me an idea that this is a normal candle that wicked right here, and this is an exaggerated candle. So I would probably put it from right there. Come down. In this case, all the way down to this one, because this is the lowest low. All right, and I kind of give you an idea of the price action. In this case, price came all the way from there, and this actually feels really good, because if you can see, it bounces off of the 38.8, 38.8, 38.8 over and over and over until it finally breaks to the top. You know, in fact, it didn't even hesitate at the golden zone. Once it broke over 38.2, it just went. You know, so that feels pretty good on that. All right. Let's see, what else do I have here? As far as settings, I got the fib settings, I got the extension settings, pivots. Man, I learned a lesson last night on pivots for sure. Jay and I have been talking. When I've done my setups in the past, and by the way, I think I would consider the trend line break yesterday was not as successful. It only gave 11 pips on the GA, but what we were really looking for was the zones, okay? So the zones, it didn't happen. I don't know if it broke the zone finally by the end of today, but it hadn't when I closed my computer this afternoon. So I don't think I've sent a setup yet that has failed as far as it not doing one or the other. But what I learned last night, Jay and I have been talking about, is pivots and the importance of pivots. Pivots is, in this case, you can find pivots by indicators. Pivots. I already have my little star here. Pivot point standard. That's the one. Pivot point standard. When you initially put it on, you're gonna get a whole bunch of days. I think like 7 days. You don't want that many days. You don't need that many days. We're scalpers. We're not swing traders. Scalpers and day traders. So we're not swinging for a week. So you only need 3 days. So I have it over here. I'm gonna open it, and now it gives me, this is the hour, let me move to the 4 hour. Okay, now it gives me the places where action has pivoted. You know how in basketball, if you're playing basketball or soccer, if you're a footballer, right? Football player, you're going in one direction and all of a sudden you stop and you go in the other direction. That's a pivot, right? You fake like you were going that way and you went this other way. That's a pivot. That's what these lines are, all right? This is the pivot here, and this only marks the last 3 days. This is the last 3 days. You can go to settings. Originally, it had all of these. I unclicked all of these. I only kept these two. And the number of pivots back, 3. Okay? You can change it, but I only want 3. All right? And it'll show me, this is the pivot. This is support. That's what that means. Support 1, support 2, support 1, support 2 of each of the last 3 days. And what I did yesterday for the first time when I sent out the setup was I saw my lines, for example. I'm teaching you on how to set up your charts at the same time. Let's say I see this as a zone, right? Right here. A structure. I see this as a structure. All right. And let's put another line here for structure. I would put it, seeing this action here and everything that's going on over here, right somewhere around there. Okay, it's kind of thick. All right. What I did last night was take into consideration these lines and adjusted my zone according to it. So in other words, you can see that behind, let me open this up a little bit. You can see that behind, gold is crossing something right now. My alert for gold. You can see there's a pivot right behind this right here. Okay. So what I did is I adjusted my line to the pivot and I moved it right there. One of the worst things is you're thinking that something is going to go to a place and then it goes somewhere else. And so on GA, this is how I sent the setup last night. Put my lines, I did a study. This is the 4 hour. Went down to the 1 hour. This is what we call top-down analysis. You can see how price came down in here and now it's trapped in here. All right. It broke out, but it came back in. Looks like it's rejecting there now too. Go down to the 30-minute. Okay. And you can see how this holds. And now again, it's below it. So what I did last night for the first time, really, was, okay, let me adjust it according to the pivot and put it there. And thank God I did, because that GA rejected at that pivot strong, hard last night twice. That pivots act again like resistance, support and resistance. If it was down here, where's another pivot down at the bottom? This right here. So in other words, so if I was watching the price action break out and come down, start coming down, I would get out. If it broke all the way through here, I would get out when it hit there. If it went past support 1 and it went past support 2, it's gonna bounce off this pivot right here. Okay, even if it's just to slow down the momentum, it's gonna bounce off of there. So I'll be looking to get out there. That's the power of pivots, and that's how we use them. Now, when you start, let me close all this out. When we start setting up our chart, we don't have anything on the chart. This is what I'm looking at when I come to the chart at the beginning. I don't have anything except I got my setup, these already in place because they're always there, but I'm not looking at them. I'm looking at this right here. And I start from the daily. Okay. I like to see which direction it is going. This is on an uptrend. This is on a very strong uptrend, by the way. Nice little W that created here. Okay, this could drop now. But with Brexit news, who knows what's going on, you know? So, but it's been moving strong for quite a while. Again, this is the daily. all right? So, okay, so basically, since this is so strong to the upside, unless I can find a clear breakdown, like this is creating, let me go ahead. This is creating a doji candle right here, right now. Okay, that's a daily. If that becomes a doji on a daily candle, that's strong confirmation that this is going down. Okay, so that'll be worth watching right there. Or did it already close? No, that's today. This is today because the market's already open. No, yeah. So this is today. It's forming. This is forming right now. But this is going to take all day to do. So, but again, I know this is what's going on. It did a strong move to the upside. It looks like it's a shallow retracement. It's a shallow retracement to the 38.2 and started moving back up. Okay, will it break 23.6? It could. It could. But that candle right there is telling me otherwise. We'll see what happens. Okay, but now that I know this, I am looking either for a rejection here or a breakout. All right, so I go down to the 4-hour. All right, and from here I can already start marking up my chart because I have enough action going on here to start marking structure. Let's see.
Hi Robert, can you just talk about the rejection? What is a rejection? What does it actually look like? Sorry, I'm just trying to work that one out.
Tanya, I can't hear you very well. Speak up. Go ahead. Again.
Sorry, I'm trying to work out when you talk about the word rejection. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, right. You mentioned the word rejection. What am I actually looking for when you to identify a rejection candle? What am I supposed to be looking for?
The shape of the candle.
Right. And what sort of shape is it supposed to be, please?
Like that one right there.
Okay.
That's called a doji.
Okay.
You see this one here?
Yeah.
You have another one right here.
Yeah.
You have this one right here is massive rejection. I mean, this was green. This was green. Just imagine this being green all the way up here, and then it came all the way down. All right.
So that's a massive rejection, that one then.
That's a very big rejection right there. Yes.
Okay.
This rejected here too. It went like it was going to break that zone. Yeah. And it rejected.
So what they're saying is the price was going to go to that level, but then it decided it wasn't going to go to that level. Is that what that actually means?
It appeared that the price was going to break through that level, and it didn't.
Okay.
Okay. Here it went up exactly to that level, and it came back down. Here it went up above it, came back down. Here it finally broke, but now it doesn't look like it's holding. Okay. So I will be looking for what happens here. And this is a 4-hour. Look how similar the 4-hour and the daily look like. Okay. So that's very similar. All right. Now that's the 4-hour. Did I answer your question, Tanya?
Yes. Thank you, Robert.
Okay. All right. All right. So now this is what it looks like on the 1-hour. On the 1-hour, this is breaking down. You already have a little doji here, and now it's beginning to break down below. I would be looking for it to break, retest, and go down. I mean, that's what I would be looking for. Now, would it happen that way? We don't have a clue if it's going to happen that way or not. Let's see. That's a ray. That won't work. Okay, so I'll be looking for this to happen. I'm like this. Go like that to test it, and then drop. Okay. If what it does instead is it goes above it, if it returns above it after breaking down, it returns above it and retests this line to the upside, it'll go up. Okay. This is a strong line of resistance or support, depending on which side of the coin you're looking at. If you're above it or below it. Okay, I'm just kind of giving you a little bit of how it is that we look at the charts. Okay, and I put that line there because I'm looking back, and this is how you do it. Looking back, you can see how price reacted on that line. Okay, it broke. It took this massive breakthrough. This is news. obviously. A massive breakthrough, came down, retested it, went back up. Then it broke down below it hard. It takes very strong candles to break through this line. So this is a very strong line. Here, it broke down, went back up. Found support, shot up to the sky. Okay? This is massive. This is, and by the way, this little ruler right here, because I haven't talked about that yet. This little ruler gives you the pips. Put it there, all the way down. That's 308 pips on the hour chart. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In 6 hours, that thing went up 308 pips. That's impressive, okay? Then it came down, and when it came down, it bounced off of that again, and it gave up a whole bunch more pips because the other one wasn't enough, right? 252 pips on that bounce. All of this tells you this is a very strong line. This is an important line to the bankers, to whoever it is that has the money. This line is important. It kept bouncing, 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 bouncing. Here, it tried to go, but now that it's broken down, and by the way, that's how this works. When you find a strong line like that, once it goes above it, it wants to stay above it. Once it goes below it, it wants to stay below it. And what you're looking for is confirmations that, in fact, it is going to stay below. So in this case, this went up, 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 up. It rejected here once. Then it broke. Massive rejection. Okay, came all the way down to the bottom. Now it's bouncing off of here. Went back up. Look what happens when it come and touch this line again. It went back up. So again, this is important. Yes.
Okay.
Question?
So.
No question?
Okay, good. Continue.
No question. Mute. Okay. Moving on. Okay. So that's that. So last night, again, what I did is I added the pivots. That's not it. That's Bollinger Band. I added the pivots, and it kind of told me, okay, what kind of action I could be expecting. Here's a pivot, and you can see how price action messed with this a little bit, and then it got above it. So if this was to break below this line, I would be looking to get out when it hit here, but that's plenty of pips, okay? That's 43 pips, all right? So again, that's how you use pivots. And I'm not sure, yes, I think Jay has it in indicators, popular chart indicators. I think he has that, more information on the pivots, but that's how you use pivots. Let me remove the drawing, the lines. I'm gonna keep these lines here, in fact, because this is GN, and we may use this for tonight. Okay, so okay, that's pivots. Anything else? Martin trend. Already talked about Martin trend. You buy it, text, call out, did that, head and shoulders, ready, wave, long position, short position. The appearance. We went through the appearance of the chart. The setting alerts. Okay, watch list. The watch list. Okay, is that it right there? Yes. So you go all the way over here to the right. You click on your watch. Oh, this is the watch list button. Click on it. This is what I'm watching. This is the only thing I'm really watching. Okay. GBP. Odd. It's still messing around with that trend line from last night. But you notice how it doesn't want to go down. It doesn't want to go down. It keeps messing around, but it doesn't want to go down. Now it may reject on this trend line and finally come down. But it's still above the zone, the bottom zone, and it never broke the top. But again, I put this line right at the pivot. That's why that is it. That I had it somewhere else. I can't remember exactly where I had it. I think I had it here. I think I had it here. But I saw that pivot line, I moved it to it. And sure enough, it rejected at it, and it rejected at it 3 times last night, okay? So here you can keep what you're looking at, and you can erase them by simply clicking on the X, and they'll be gone. And you can add here by clicking add symbol right here. GBP, CHF, which we never trade because it moves so slow. Click on it, and now it's been added there, okay? Sometimes GBP chef is like the only thing to trade, but we don't like trading as it moves so slow. You know, sometimes it does have some very strong moves. That watch list was the last thing on my list, and I'm almost exactly at 8 o'clock. So do you have any questions? Anyone?
Robert, it might be worth just telling people about how to do indicator templates. If they've got a free version, you can only have 3 indicators.
Right.
So to get around that, you can set 3 indicators up, let's say the moving averages with the stochastic and the MACD, and then save it as a template, and then click that template as a favorite, and it puts a little icon. So then you can just flick through the different templates that you've got set up.
Okay, if you make I've never done it that way because I just simply use the.
Yeah, but there you've got 8. Some people can only have 3. So if they set up a template with 3 on it, and then do another template with another 3, and then another with another 3, then they've got a quick access.
This SMA one right here, all of this is considered just one, even though it's like 8 of them. It's only considered one.
Yeah, I understand that. But if they want to have the stochastic and the MACD,
got it,
and the pivots,
got it.
Do you see what I'm saying? So they can put 3 different indicators on one template, then set up another template with another 3 different indicators.
Right.
And then you can just flick through the indicators.
Okay. Yeah, I've never done it. I'll have to test that to see so I can know how to do it, but I understand what you mean.
I can talk you through it. If you just have 3 indicators on the chart, and click template in the top middle, just above your favorites bar. See where it says templates?
Right here.
And then you just click save template, call it whatever you want. So let's say
gotcha.
Bollinger Band, and then you can click it as a favorite, and it gives you like a little icon, and it'll appear in between templates and alert. And
you can click then back and forth between them.
Yeah, and then you just click on it. It's like a one-stop button to change your indicators.
Got it. That would be good. That's actually good for those of you who don't have the paid subscription. That's not a bad idea. I'm gonna practice that so I can have them readily and post it in the future. Thank you, guys.
No.
Yeah, that's helpful. That's actually helpful. Wish I would have had that in the beginning. Save me a couple bucks. Let's see, what else can I think of? I guess the only thing that's missing here on this GBP NZD is a trend line. If we were to put a trend line on this baby here, I think I had one last night. Something like that. You can either do it from the wick or you can do it from the body, but don't mix them. Okay, either do wicks or body. Okay. Now, this is interesting how this GN respected that trend line all night long. And GOD was just a mess. Move this out of the way. It's one of the reasons why, again, I really like GN. I prefer it. GN and GCAD. This basically needs a new trend line now. That needs a new trend line right there. It may respect that. We'll see. And that's the alert, because I have alerts on the trend line and the zones. But again, you only get so many alerts unless you pay for a subscription. So something to consider if you're going to be a professional trader. But again, in the beginning, we want you to start making money before you start adding expenses to it. So any questions? Any questions?
Robert, again, just another little quick tip. Sometimes people are quite happy to click away on the chart, and what might happen is their 2 indicators at the bottom will disappear. So if you double click on the chart, the 2 indicators at the bottom will disappear so that you can see the screen better. So if that happens and they don't know where their indicators have gone, just double click on the chart and they'll come back.
Yeah, very good. So for example, in fact, all this noise over here, which I hate to see, you simply click here and that's gone now. and you can open it also at any time. And then same thing with these indicators here. If you happen to click the wrong button, like the X is gonna make it be gone completely. These buttons move them up and down depending on what your preference is. Let me see, I like to have, in fact, my MACD on the top. So that's there now. And which one is it, Daz? Is this button here?
No, just on the screen, anywhere on the chart where the candles are. Just double click.
Oh, where the candles are.
Yeah. Not actually on the candles, on the back of the screen.
There you go. Okay, there you go.
And also, if you've got drawings on your chart and you want to hide them, when you right click on them and click hide, which is the I button.
Right.
If you want to bring them back individually rather than all together, if you look down the bottom right, you'll see like a stack of paper with a B on it. That hides right down on the right hand
here,
column.
over here.
No, on the right.
On the
with
right.
the B on it. Keep going across. Right on the right hand side.
Further over here?
Yeah, there. That. If you click on that, that will bring up a list where your watch list is with all the stuff that you've got hidden on your chart.
Got it.
And so if you click the eyes with the cross through means that it's hidden. And if you click on that, it'll reappear individually as opposed to all together.
Right. Instead of having them all over here, you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like them over here, but I hear what you're saying. That is helpful. I need to have you make a class on this.
Yeah. So if you wanted to, if you right clicked on the trend line for argument's sake, it'll disappear. So right click on it and then click the hide button.
Right.
At the bottom.
Right.
And you want to bring it back. The only way to bring it back is by clicking on that B, and then you find it in there and you just click on it and it'll come back.
Right here. Perfect. That's beautiful. That actually is helpful because I've lost a couple of things in the past. I don't know where they went.
Yeah,
I have no idea where they went. Oh, look, it's breaking my trend line. That's G-odd. I just put a trend line there. It's already breaking it. It's not very nice. G-odd can be testy. I mean, I like it when it just goes because it does give out quite a bit of pips or quickly. But I find GN, GCAD kind of move steadily. They're kind of like, okay, we're going up, we're going up, we're going down, we're going down. Last night, it was an easier thing to look on GN just because the odd was stronger. So it was fighting with the GBP and the Kiwi was weak. So it made it easier. Any other questions before we close it out? It's gonna be a short night tonight.
Yeah, Robert, quick question.
Stay on tonight, by the way.
What's the best charting to work with on TradingView that is much more comparable with the LQDX price?
I see what you're saying. As far as the brokers, Jay likes to, for example, if you're searching for, let me go ahead and do a search here for, let's say, what don't I have there? I already have that, but let's just do GBP, JPY. Jay likes to do the FXCM. He does not do OANDA or any of the other Forex. He likes to do FXCM. That's the one that he uses. Is that the question?
Yeah, that's the one closest to the our broker, the LQDFX.
This is the one that he uses, so I use it. I have no idea how close it is or how far it is from the other. I know that when I'm opening, because I keep this open here, and then on my other screen I have MT4. I don't see that big of a discrepancy when the market is hot. If you are trying to see it when the market just opened, like 5, 6 p.m., it may be a significant difference in the spread. Otherwise, when we're actively in the market, like during the London session, I don't see that big of a difference.
Okay, it's because sometimes I place some orders and like the stop loss is different from the stop loss I place, and the entry and everything is different totally most of the time when I place the order on the broker.
And you are ordering with in the London?
Yeah,
In the London session with LQDFX.
yeah,
I've not noticed that. Are you on
yeah.
are you on a mini account or ECN?
I think it's an ECN. I'm not
Did you
sure.
open
I
it? Did
don't
you open it with? Are you in a demo or real money?
live. It's a live account.
Okay, with
It's it's
over
been
$500 or less.
yeah. It's like about 550 somewhere there.
Okay, so it's so it should be an ECN account like mine. And I've not noticed that, but if you are in the London tonight, let's talk about it and let's see. Let's look at it in live because I've not seen that.
Yeah, because like sometimes let's say the price is at like 275 on the charting, and then you go on like the MetaTrader, the price will be like at 270. It's like almost 5-10 pips off.
Well, again, there is a spread that they charge, but it depends on the time of the day and the volume that is moving. If volume is moving, like if there's large liquidity, then the spread is going to be smaller. If there isn't much liquidity, like again, the Mondays and Fridays is not as much liquidity as in the middle of the week, then the spreads are going to be a little bigger. But and it could be 5 and 6 pips, but I don't remember the last time that I ran into that situation. And I trade with LQDFX. So again, let's look at it during the live when we're trading, and then we'll discuss it because I don't I'm not seeing that big of a difference with LQDFX and TradingView. I haven't. So let's take a look at it when there's actually action going on. I mean, we could look at it right now if you want to.
Yeah, take a quick look at it because it's not like 5 pips. Sometimes it's even 10 pips.
Nah, you may be counting them incorrectly. Hold on a second. Okay, so GBP odd. GBP odd, the ask right now is 87.94, and it's at 87.92 and 93. So that's 2 pips.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's 2
All
pips.
right.
Yeah, it could be how maybe you're reading it. Let's see, where can I refer you to as far as you want to look at, is it the third decimal, the third and fourth decimal, to compare the prices. So in other words, let's say right here, where's my mouse? Okay, here, the pip that you're looking at is you would put a period after the first number, going from the right to the left. So in this case, 87.93, 0.5, 0.8, you get me? And then as 93, this is 93, the 3 is the pip count. If it goes to 94, then that's up 1 pip, down 1 pip. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
It could be how you're looking at the numbers. And also, and of course, then the yen changes the game too, because the yen is not like the other. Let me open it. The GBP, any pair that touches, any pair that is in the Japanese yen, then it's the second number. Okay, instead of the fourth number after the period, after the decimal, it's the second number. So if this 11 turns into 10, like just now, that's 1 pip down. Okay. Gold is still gold is messing around. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Thank you for your clarification.
Okay. All right. Okay, guys, I'm going to close it up so as to not make this video long. Let me go ahead and stop the video, and then